Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about another important concept in the respiration about exchange of the gases. You know very well, exchange of the gases mainly depend upon partial pressure. Partial pressure is the most important. Why? Because the exchange of the gases will take place because of the partial pressure. So solubility of CO2 is 20 to 25 times higher than that of O2. The partial pressure of CO2 is much higher than that of O2. You know very well. Partial pressure means in a mixture of gases, one individual gas, how much pressure it will be created, that is called partial pressure. So now here I am writing about the table about partial pressures in different occasions. See now, the respiration gas oxygen in the atmospheric air, the partial pressure oxygen is 159 and mmHg, where unit is mmHg, mercury millimeter for mercury, 0.3 for carbon dioxide, alveoli 104, carbon dioxide 40. These are neat bits, ma. This all. Why I am writing and explaining why? Because this is neat bit. Neat point of view, very useful. So in the deoxygenated 40 and partial pressure of oxygen is deoxygenated plate 40 and carbon dioxide is 45. Oxygenated plate 95, 40, tissues 40, 45. So like that, the partial pressure will be there. Okay. See now oxygen plated plate 95. Carbon dioxide partial pressure 40 only. Here 40, 45. Why? Here carbon dioxide is more. So now we are going to discuss about the transportation of oxygen. Last class we discussed about hemoglobin and methemoglobin, right? Today we are going to discuss about what is called the transport of oxygen. The transport of oxygen is important, right? First, molecular oxygen. Molecular oxygen is carried in the blood in two ways. Molecular oxygen carried in blood in two ways. Number one, what is that one? Bound to hemoglobin. The first one is two ways, bound to hemoglobin. Then it dissolved in the plasma. Bound to in hemoglobin in RBC, dissolved in plasma. Oxygen is poorly soluble in water. Oxygen is poorly soluble in water. That is important point. So only 3% of oxygen is transported in dissolved form. This is a neat bit. 3% is transported in dissolved form. 97% of oxygen binds with hemoglobin is reversible manner from oxyhemoglobin. Recalled oxyhemoglobin. That is a very important point. HbO2. Oxyhemoglobin, HbO2. Next point here to remember. The rate at which hemoglobin binds with oxygen is regulated by the partial pressure of oxygen. So the rate of which hemoglobin binds with oxygen is regulated by partial pressure of oxygen. Each hemoglobin carries how much? 4 oxygen molecules. Each hemoglobin carries how many? 4 oxygen molecules, 4 iron. So first one is most important point to remember, the oxyhemoglobin formation in alveoli. What's the conditions required? High partial pressure of oxygen, low carbon dioxide, less recalled H plus concentration, low temperature. Low temperature and less H plus concentration favors which one? Oxyhemoglobin. Very important. High PO2. Number one, high. Low CO2. Okay. Low temperature, low H plus concentration favors the oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin. That's important point to remember. What about in tissues? To form the what is called carboxyhemoglobin. So oxyhemoglobin will be formed in the tissues. The low PO2 high CO2, high H plus, high temperature. High H plus and high temperature favors the dissociation of oxygen from the oxyhemoglobin. Dissociation of oxygen from the oxygen. Why? Because carbon dioxide more, no? That's why dissociation of oxygen from the hemoglobin will be takes place. Now, percentage of saturation of hemoglobin. You see the graph. This graph. You see this one. S shape. If the right side shifting, CO2 is more. PCO2 is more. Left side means PO2 is more. So this point you should have to remember. It is oxyhemoglobin is a called carboxyhemoglobin. So here what's the condition? Come on, low PCO2, low H plus concentration, low temperature, and what you call favors the oxyhemoglobin. Here low PO2, high PCO2, high H plus, high temperature concentration. So oxygen is plotted against the PO2. This curve is called oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve. This S-shaped curve has a steep slope over PO2 values between, see, like this, 10 to what you call 50 mmHg, then flattens between, so 10 to 50 slip like this, 50 it will like this, then flattens after say 50, 70 and 100 mmHg. So 70 and 100 mmHg. This is important. Next, under the normal physiological conditions, every 100 ml of oxygenated blood can deliver about 5 ml of O2 to the tissues. 100 ml. Every 100 ml carries the 500 ml blood. 5 ml of the oxygen. Every 100 ml, 5 ml of which one? Oxygen will be transported to the tissues. That is important. A sigmoid curve. Okay, the S-shaped curve, very important. Slope, percentage of saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen is plotted against the PO2. The curve is called what you call oxyhemoglobin curve. A steep slope for PO2 values between 10 to 15 mmHg and flattens between 70 to 100 mmHg. So here I am said now, under normal physiological conditions, every 100 ml of oxygenated blood can deliver about 5 ml of O2 to the tissues. Okay, so these points you should have to remember. What are the conditions for the oxyhemoglobin formation and what are the conditions for the carboxyhemoglobin formation? Those two things you should have to check. Next, transport of carbon dioxide will be discussed. What is oxygen? You know very well. Oxygen will be the hemoglobin and plasma. 3% plasma, 97% hemoglobin. What about carbon dioxide transportation? This is important. So carbon dioxide dissolved in the plasma 70 to 10% of CO2. Very important need bit. What you call 7 to 10% of carbon dioxide is transported in a dissolved form. Which form? In the dissolved plasma. Next, through hemoglobin 20 to 25%. How much? 20 to 25%. This is important. So 20 to 25%. As a bicarbonate ions, this is important. As bicarbonate ions, how much it will be? So as a bicarbonate ions, how much? 70%. 70% of carbon dioxide will be transport as a bicarbonate ions. Okay, children. So these are all the things you should have to remember. So dissolved state in plasma, 7 to 10% of carbon dioxide is transported in a dissolved form on the plasma. By hemoglobin, 20 to 25% HbCO2, carboxyhemoglobin, CO2 HbCO2 reversible. As bicarbonate, CO2 plus H2O carbonic anhydride H2CO3, HCO3H plus by the carbonic anhydride reversible form, it will be transport. So these points you should have to remember. So what we discussed from one to first point to second point, observe very carefully. In this, so many neat bits are there in this video. First, partial pressure of the oxygen and carbon dioxide we will discuss. What is the definition of partial pressure? In the group of or mixture of gases, any particular gas will give how much pressure it will be give, that much is called partial pressure of mmHg. So respiration gas O2, carbon dioxide atmospheric air 159, carbon dioxide 150, oxygen 159, carbon dioxide 0.3 partial pressure. Alveoli 104, 40, 40, 45 in the deoxygenated blood, oxygenated blood 95, 40, tissues 40, 45 in mmHg. Like this, points will be there, the most important points. So, partial pressure, why we are discussing? Because partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide only helpful for the transportation of gases in circulatory system. If partial pressure is not sufficient, movement of gases will not takes place. So that is important. Next point we are discussing transport of oxygen. So molecular oxygen carried in blood in two ways. Molecular oxygen carried in the blood, how many ways? Two ways. First one, bound to hemoglobin in RBC. So oxyhemoglobin. Dissolved in plasma. Oxygen poorly soluble in water. So how much? 3% of oxygen is transported in dissolved form. 97% oxygen bind with hemoglobin is a reversible manner to form oxyhemoglobin HbO2. So 3% need bit. Only through dissolved form, plasma. 3% only dissolved form in the plasma. 97% is a oxyhemoglobin bind to the hemoglobin. It's reversible. Okay. So these points also very important. Next, what are the conditions to form partial pressure of oxygen is important. The partial pressure of oxygen and each hemoglobin. So because of partial pressure of oxygen, it will be bind with the oxygen, will be bind with the hemoglobin, forms the oxyhemoglobin. What you call? Forms which one? Oxyhemoglobin. So partial pressure of the what you called oxygen is favors the formation of oxyhemoglobin. So now, what are the conditions to form oxyhemoglobin? This is important. Favors the formation of oxyhemoglobin. What are the conditions? Next, low. What are the first one? In alveoli, high PO2. So high oxygen, low PCO2, low carbon dioxide, low temperature, less H plus concentration. So these all are very important favor formation of which one? Oxyhemoglobin. What are those? High PO2 means partial pressure of oxygen is high, low PCO2, low partial pressure of carbon dioxide, low temperature, less H plus. This all favors the graph will be shown this side. Means the association of oxyhemoglobin. If the graph is bending right side, dissociation of oxyhemoglobin will be takes place. In the tissues, low PO2, high PCO2, high H plus, high temperature favors the dissociation of oxygen from oxyhemoglobin. So these are all the things you should have to remember. See, if the graph is going this side, what do you call that condition? Dissociation of oxygen. If the graph is bending this side, association of hemoglobin with the oxygen. You should have to remember. A sigmoid curve S-shaped percentage of saturation of Hb with its oxygen is plotted against PO2. So this is a sigmoid curve. And oxygen hemoglobin or oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve. So if S steep between the 10 to 50 and flattens between the 70 and 100 mmHg under normal physiological conditions. So every 100 ml of oxygenated blood can deliver about 5 ml of O2 to the tissues in the normal physiological conditions. How much? So there will be 5 ml of the which one? O2 oxygen will be delivered to the tissues. 100 ml of blood delivered to how much? What do you call? 100 ml of oxygen blood can deliver about 500 ml of oxygen to tissues. Here important. S steep. S like this. S will be there. the S, between 0 to 10 to 50 mm Hg, and flattens between 70 and 70 and 100 mm Hg, millimeter for mercury. So normal physiological conditions, every 100 ml of oxygenated blood much every 100 ml of oxygenated blood can deliver about 5 ml of O2 to the tissues. Next, come to the transportation of carbon dioxide. How carbon dioxide will be transported? Oxygen means through the hemoglobin, through the plasma. What about carbon dioxide? The carbon dioxide, three methods the movement will be takes place, or exchange transportation will be takes place in three ways. Number one, dissolved in plasma. 7 to 10% of carbon dioxide will be transported to the lungs in the form of what is called dissolved state, or dissolved form in the plasma. How much? 7 to 10%. So dissolved. So why? You know already. The solubility of carbon dioxide is more than the oxygen. So that's why 7%. Oxygen only 3%. But carbon dioxide 7 to 10%, it will be delivered to the lungs, from tissues to lungs. Next, hemoglobin, bound to hemoglobin, 20 to 25% carbon dioxide, very important need bits. 20 to 25% hemoglobin, 20 to 25% hemoglobin. What will happen? Bind to the 20 to 25% carbon dioxide bind to the hemoglobin, okay, and in that form, carboxyhemoglobin form, it will be go to the alveoli to outside. Carbon dioxide, hemoglobin, HbCO2, reversible. So HbCO2 and HbCO2, Hb plus CO2, hemoglobin and carbon dioxide. It's a reversible process. Next, as bicarbonate ions, carbon dioxide plus H2O, H2CO3, bicarbonate. So by the help of an enzyme, most important, this is a very important need bit. Bicarbonate ion 70% it will be transferred. In the bicarbonate form, 70% carbon dioxide will move to the tissues to lungs. So here carbon dioxide, water forms the hydrocarbon carbonate ions, bicarbonate ions, by the help of enzyme, what you call carbonic anhydrase. What you call that enzyme name is, very important enzyme, the carbonic anhydrase. The carbonic anhydrase transports the what called bicarbonates, forms the bicarbonate ions, and in the bicarbonate ions only carbon dioxide will be transferred to lungs. See here now, reversible. CO2, H2, H2CO3, again HCO3 plus H plus carbonic anhydrase. Like that, reversible reactions by the help of carbonic anhydrase enzymes, bicarbonate ions will be formed. In that way, carbon dioxide will be go to lungs, from tissues to lungs, and eliminate outside. So what are the neat bits in this? So oxygen, 3% of oxygen is transported in dissolved form, first neat bit. 97% oxygen bind to the hemoglobin. What about the partial pressures in the deoxygenated blood? Oxygen level partial pressure is less, 40, and carbon dioxide partial deoxygenate in the deoxygenated partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 45. Same in oxygen, 95, 40. These are the neat bits. And here, what are the conditions to form oxyhemoglobin? Come on. Low PCO2, high PO2, low temperature, less H plus favors the oxyhemoglobin. What are the conditions to form carboxyhemoglobin, or dissociation of oxygen from hemoglobin? Low PO2, high PCO2, high H plus, high temperature. Here all are low, here all are high. So that will be decides the formation of carboxyhemoglobin or dissociation of oxygen from the hemoglobin. See the graph bending right side, dissociation of hemoglobin from oxygen. Bending left side, association of oxygen from the hemoglobin. That curve will be tell, what you call that curve? That curve will be called sigmoid curve. what do you call that curve shape is sigmoid curve, and it is oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve will be there. So like this NEET bits will become in the exam.